What I'm looking at right now is just this this right here, possible power of 3. Possible power of 3. Right, we have that accumulation here, manipulation down, sweeping the lows. And now, we see, is price going to actually distribute past these highs? Or is it going to continue down to the lows? Okay, today is not a great day. I haven't taken any trades yet today. The only trade I've taken was last night. I took some of those longs last night and I got out kind of quick. But made like a few $100 and, I was like, I'm just going to get out of these, which ended up being the right decision. But, I mean, guys, so the day before a holiday weekend with a bunch of news that has come out already, it's pretty obvious, that we're going to have a pretty bad day of price action, at least in the morning. But I still wanted to hop on and see if there's still any setups we could find. Or if even if there's not any setups, we can, still do some education. But look at these longs stepping in. This is that power of 3. Right? So if these longs come in and sweep these highs, then we could look for an OTE entry off retracement, right? If price comes back down and retraces, we could look for that OTE entry into the longs. We also need to look for, where's our draw on liquidity? Well, we've got some liquidity up above at these highs. So we got some liquidity up here. All right, and this is just if these longs actually follow through and step in. Now here's the thing, guys. We also formed this bearish breaker on the 1 minute. If we can see here, look at this high, low, higher high with this lowest down close candle. Look at that. So this is the one thing that I'm looking for right now, because technically this is that bearish breaker that we have respected and we've came back down. So I'm waiting to see, Tempest, I'm waiting to see if price can push through this breaker, actually creating the power of 3, or if price is going to respect this breaker and head back down. Right? Normally 1 minute breakers aren't the strongest. Normally I look for like breakers on like the 5 minute or the 15 minute for extra confirmation. But we can see that this is a pretty strong. Well, that's funny. Did you just say to use 1 minute chart to find breakers? That's weird. I was already talking about it. So yeah, normally I don't find it on the 1 minute, but the reason I'm using it on the 1 minute right now is because look at how price has respected this 1 minute breaker so far. And we can see on the 5 minute we also have this fair value gap that price has respected as well. So we have a few levels, but I still want to see if the longs are going to push through just because of this accumulation manipulation. Now we see if we get that distribution, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm not really eager to take any trades or rushing to take any trades today, but I did, still want to hop on and see, because if there's an opportunity, I will take it. If there's an opportunity, I'll take it. But if I hop on and we're hanging out and there's no setups, that's fine. We'll still talk about charts and we'll still talk about this price action. Yes, technically it is a unicorn setup. Technically it is. But so we have this little fair value gap right up here inside. This one was disrespected. This would have been the one I would have looked for, but this one has been respected. If you guys can see, it's a really small fair value gap here. So technically it's a unicorn setup. And so far it has been respected. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Basically, my mind right now is if this gets respected, shorts are going to come back in. But look at all this liquidity that's resting above now. And look how we manipulated down. So, it looks like price wants to push back up and grab that internal liquidity, right? Yeah, unicorn setups are definitely probably what I look for the most out of anything. But I'm normally looking for them, like I said, on the 5 minute and the 15 minute. Those are normally when I'm looking for those setups. But man, if I see that on a 5 minute or a 15 minute time frame, I will take it most of the time if it aligns with like where I expect price to be. This one right here is another one that I like to take, power of 3, right? But I normally like to wait for price to actually take out the highs and then retrace back to OTE, and that's another thing that I used to teach this a lot in the Discord. I don't, some people probably have never heard me talk about power of 3. And if you don't know what it is, it's this accumulation, right? We're consolidating. We manipulate one way. We distribute the other way, taking out these highs. And then we would use our Fibonacci. Like say our high, say our high came up to this 1 minute fair value gap. Right here, okay? We use our Fibonacci, say this is our high. All the way down to the low. And then we would expect price to retrace back down to around VWAP, down to like 0.62 to 0.79, and that's our OTE entry, our optimal trade entry, like golden zone, is when price retraces back into that level and then accelerates. So that's another thing that I look for, another thing that I like a lot. And another one would be inverse fair value gaps, like on the 5 and 15 minute time frame. Inverse fair value gaps are very valuable. When you see, like, let's look at the 5 minutes. So like, let's say price comes up and disrespects this 5 minute, right, closes above. This now turns into an inverse, and if price retraces back into that inverse, we would expect price to continue up, right, if our draw on liquidity is on the buy side. Yeah, those are kind of like the main 3 that I'm looking at. Those are the main 3, and then I'm using like SMT divergence as confirmation, right, where we see ES and NQ. Like if I'm looking for a reversal in the market, say I'm looking for a reversal and we form a bearish breaker, and then we see SMT between NQ and ES, I'll be using that as confirmation. And I can make a video about SMT as well. I'll probably make one of those today, and I'll send that out if you guys don't know what SMT divergence is, because that's another important factor, another important confluence for trades that I like to use. But yeah, those setups are like the main 3 that I'm looking for on a daily basis. Very solid setups. Here, I can link, I'll send my YouTube right now for you. Let me send my YouTube for you. I know I sent it yesterday, but I'll send this one right here. This is like my unicorn setup video. So there's that for you. That's the YouTube. Alright, I used to have a lot of videos on my YouTube, like a ton of them, and then it got deleted, so I had to remake my YouTube, so I'm kind of, redoing a lot of stuff. But I post all of my live sessions on there. Yeah, so we are testing that breaker. The one thing about this breaker and this retest is that we have these equal highs up here. That's the one thing that I'm looking at, because we have a lot of internal liquidity resting above these equal highs, and we also have a fair value gap above, right? And we also manipulated down. So I probably wouldn't take the short, right off of this retest of this breaker. Unicorn model got me funded today. Let's go. Good stuff, Master G. I'm telling you, it's that model it's pretty high probability. And if you can combine that with market structure and draw on liquidity, it's pretty high probability. Do you consider it as a breaker to the upside? Let's see. So far, I mean, we kind of have a breaker here, right? A low, high, lower, low. to the upside for sure. And then what you would do is you would look for this up close candle. But again, this is on the 1 minute time frame, so I don't see the 1 minute as super strong for breakers, just because you do see a lot of 1 minute breakers getting disrespected. But so far this one has been respected. I normally want to see breakers on the 5 minute time frame or the 15. Those are the strongest ones. Those are the ones I like to see, especially like if we have a breaker inside of a higher time frame imbalance. That's when I'm really like, okay, this is legit, right? If I see like a 5 minute breaker inside of a 4 hour bearish imbalance, like that's, to me, that's a good sign, right? Like this, like we're in right now. Notice how we're in this 4 minute or 4 hour bearish imbalance, which we've tested a lot. But when we form like a 5 minute breaker or a 15 minute breaker at the top or inside of that imbalance, right, that's when I'm like, okay, that's a pretty strong level. Looks like, you know, this is a reversal pattern. We'll probably start heading down. Right, but right now, we are getting that strong reaction off the breaker so far. Just not enough for me to want to go in the shorts, just because we have that internal draw on liquidity above. So I'm just kind of waiting, chilling, you know. Don't want to rush into anything today. Don't want to take any dumb trades. I'm already in the green. Oh, that's actually another video I'm going to make. So guys, yeah, today I'm going to be making a lot of different videos because I'm going to create our whole ICT tabs, right? Our whole ICT section like Danny has for supply and demand. You know how he has the, what's it called? The Equilibrium Navigator. I'm going to do the same thing for ICT. Right, so I'm going to make a video about my drawing tools, about how I set up my trading view. I could even make a video about how I set up my Tradovate. Right, I want it to be as easy for people to understand as, you know, especially for beginners. I want people to really just be able to watch those videos and have a good understanding of what their, you know, their screens should look like. And even if they don't want to use, you know, the same stuff as me, at least just have a good idea, right? At least just have a good idea. I'm just, you know, my goal is to make it as easy as possible, as simple as possible for beginners to, you know, to have a good understanding so that they're not getting all confused by just this stuff, right? By the trading view, the Tradovate, right? So they can truly get to work on studying the concepts. Yes, ICT works on all time frames, right? I think time is fractal. Right, it moves together. It works on all time frames. I sent my YouTube link just above, actually. I sent it, if you can see that video just above on the chat. I've been trading full-time for like about 2 years. Maybe a year and a half, but just trading for like 3 years. Thank you, Estonia, for sending that. Okay, so look how price is still driving up. Look how price is still driving up. So like I said, that's why I didn't take any shorts off the test of this breaker. Because we have these equal highs up here. Okay, because we formed this power of 3, this manipulation move down. Right? And if you took the longs down here off that manipulation, you caught a pretty good trade so far, right? So now we're going for that liquidity up here. Remember, we have this 1 minute fair value gap above. We also have this 1 minute order block up above, up here. Right? If you're a supply and demand trader, this would be a supply level up here. Okay, so we're grabbing that liquidity. So now what I would wait for would be, okay, let's see how far price wants to go up, or let's see if price still respects this level after grabbing liquidity. But right now it looks pretty bullish to me. This power of 3 model looks pretty legit. Right, it looks pretty legit. It looks like we're trying to gun for buy side liquidity up above, right? But on a day like today, sometimes we're not going to truly go for all of our liquidity, right? Sometimes we're just going to range. Sometimes we're just going to range, and that's when you kind of have to adjust your plan and think like, okay, if we're not really moving too fast, we're moving kind of slow, you know, maybe we're not going to really go for that liquidity. Maybe we're just going to range from PD array to PD array, right? So maybe we're going to range from this imbalance back down to another imbalance, up to another imbalance, right? Sometimes we're going to do that when we're moving really slow. But on a normal day, I'm expecting price to go for the draws on liquidity, like this high up here. Like I said, these relative equal highs, like we just did. We just took out those highs. Right? So it's not just something I'm making up, right? This is, like I told you, right when I started the session was right about, what, 11:15 Eastern, right here. And I said, I'm expecting the longs to step in and take out these highs, right? And so far we've done that. Okay, I know I didn't gain any trade or anything, but like I said, today's price action hasn't been great, so I'm just kind of reading it. Do I think price will go to 600? Well, let's check it out. Let's check it out. We really have to push through this 4-hour imbalance. We've got to push through this 4-hour imbalance in order to push all the way to 600, right? All the way to these highs. But if we close above this 4-hour, right? A body close above this 4-hour, then I do think we'll go to 600. I do think we'll go to these highs and we'll continue trying to go to all-time highs. Okay, I just don't know if that's going to happen today. I don't know necessarily if that's going to happen today, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking at these higher time frames to see, okay, if we come up and the 4-hour closes above this 4-hour imbalance, then I expect price to continue up. I expect price to continue up, right? That's what I would be looking for. We look at the 1-hour time frame. We have this 1-hour imbalance, right? So we're trying to push and close above the 1-hour as well. We're trying to close above this 1-hour order block. Okay, and then when you see reactions off of these higher time frame levels, well, then that's when you know price is probably going to reject, right? If you see, like, look at these long wicks. Now this is hard because we have long wicks down and up. Bounce off of a bullish for value gap off of a bearish order block, right? Well, look at those shorts coming in. Right, so we're seeing that reaction off of this breaker still. We're still seeing that reaction off this breaker. We swept liquidity, came back down. All right, so it's just price action is not the best right now. It's not the best. That's why I'm not really taking any trades currently. Just kind of waiting. But I wanted to hop on here and just kind of read price with you guys, and just hopefully you guys are starting to be able to read price as we're watching it without having to take any trades. Okay, there should be a point in your trading career, and this is going to be a turning point, is when you can sit in front of your screen on a bad day of price action. Right? I'm not saying the whole day has been bad. There's been some good opportunities today, but on a bad day of price action, if you can sit here and just kind of watch price and read it and draw out your levels but not take any trades, that's going to be a turning point in your trading career. Once you can really truly just sit there and watch and study without needing or feeling the need to take any trades, that's going to help you grow a lot. How many trades do you take a day average? Average around, like, sometimes it's 1 trade, sometimes it's 3. I try to keep it around 1 to 3 trades a day. Sometimes I'll take a few more. Like, let's say on my first trade, I make like $1,000. Say on my first trade I make $1,000, and I see another really good setup later in the day. Well, I'm probably going to still take that trade, but I'm just going to scale down a little bit to conserve my profits. right? If I really love the setup. But if I don't see any setups I like for the rest of the day, then I'm not going to take any more trades. Because at that point, that's when you get in that habit of taking dumb trades, and then you, even if you scale down, you just keep taking trade after trade after trade because you think you're green, and then you end up at break even, or you end up in the red, or you end up losing more than half your profits. So I try to keep my trades with like average around 1 to 3 trades a day, and for me, I don't really need more than that. I don't really need more than that. Yeah, thanks, Kat. I think it's important just to be able to sit here and kind of just watch price. Just sit here and watch. All right, so this is what I like to do. This is what I like to do. And again, if I hop on the chart and I see a setup right away, I'm gonna take it. I don't just wait to wait. I'm not just waiting and trying to miss out on opportunities. No. If I hop on the charts and I see a setup right there, I'm gonna take it. But if I hop on the charts and I see price action that's super choppy like this, then I'm probably gonna wait. Just kind of see if we get a setup. And for me, that's proven to be pretty good, right? It's proven to help me make better decisions and take better trades. Because if I wait for my higher probability setups, instead of taking 5-10 trades during that whole time, if I would have just waited for that high probability setup to come, I would have made more money on that high probability setup than taking all of those dumb trades in between, for the most part. Okay, so now we're back down to VWAP. Back down to VWAP. Price is really dropping from here. So we keep respecting that breaker. Which is interesting because normally we don't see price respect 1 minute breakers as much, but today it is respecting that level. And again, we're in this 4-hour bearish imbalance, which is another level, right? Another reason that we're getting strong reactions from here. We're in a 4-hour, a 1-hour bearish fair value gap, right? So those are both reasons why, both more confluences why we're moving down. Okay, so let's look at this bearish breaker here. Let's use our Fibonacci real quick. So from this low to this high, right? Our high to the low, first high to low, we use that Fibonacci. Okay, so if we look at our standard deviations, look how accurately they line up. First standard deviation just got taken out and then price bounce. Second standard deviation is exactly at this low, guys. Exactly at sell side liquidity, which is another great level to take profit. Right? And then we have like our third standard deviation, and I bet, if we start to look to the left of our charts, we start to see other reasons why these would be good take profit levels. Okay, so third standard deviation, that's right there. Fourth standard deviation is right around this order block down here, this low. Fifth standard deviation is at these lows all the way down here, right? So I don't just take profit right off these standard deviation levels, but when they line up with our other levels, like that's when I'm really looking at them. Like when I see second standard deviation from that breaker lining up exactly with this low, that's when I'm like, okay, that's probably a good level that price might target off of that breaker, right? Especially after seeing it take out that first standard deviation already. Yeah, we also have London high right here, right? That's a good eye. So London high, we're seeing price bounce off of a lot. We already swept London high and London low and Asia high and Asia low, so it's kind of like, this is how you know we're in a ranging day, is when you see London high get taken out, London low get taken out, price comes back down to London low, bounces off London high, right? So we're just kind of ranging between London high and London low. And nice, Bessie. That is great to hear. That's great to hear. Yeah, trust me, I speak from personal experience, right? I can be a cautionary tale when it comes to over trading. And I think it's a problem for everybody. I don't think there's any trader that has not ever struggled with over trading. I don't think it's a possibility. Just because, guys, it can really get you into that gambling mindset without you even knowing it. And you just start getting that dopamine rush every time you click buy or sell. And you're like, this is going to be the trade. This is going to be the trade. It's like gambling. You're like, this is going to be the bet. This is going to be the bet. And that is one of the worst mindsets you could get into. And that's why I always, if I ever start to get into that mindset ever, and I still do sometimes, there's days where I'll start falling back into that, and I'm like, okay, I need to ground myself. I need to remind myself that this is not the strategy that has helped me make money. This is the strategy that has helped me lose money. Right? So then once I can ground myself and say, okay, what am I trying to get out of this? Do I truly, did I start trading so that I could gamble? No. I started trading so that I could find a real strategy that could help me make income. Right? So when I ground myself like that, then I'm like, okay, let's stop this over trading. Let's get back into that mindset where I'm going to wait for the right trades. And if I wait for that right trade, maybe that right trade that I take will make me a good amount of money for the day. You know what I mean? And then I don't need to be taking all these dumb trades. I don't need to make $10,000 in one day. Right? I just don't need that. At the same time, I want to be honest with you guys, I don't have the leverage right now to be making $10,000 to $20,000 a day, and I'm okay to admit that. I'm okay to admit that. That's fine. But that's why, I have the leverage to make a little bit less than that, and that's what I focus on, making a little bit, making a good profit. I like trading these prop firm accounts for one thing, just because, they're a small investment. And if you keep your risk right, they're pretty easy. Once you start focusing, not saying they're easy because they can be difficult, but once you start focusing on your risk management, they become a lot easier. And then, yeah, exactly, it's compounding. It's compounding. Once you start getting in that mindset, it starts to compound over time. And then once you can start building your capital, you start building your leverage, boom, that's when you're making bigger trades. All right, and like I always say, guys, making 100 to 200 bucks a day adds up to 500 to 1,000 a week, adds up to 2,000 to 4,000 a month. And then from there, guys, if you're making an extra $2,000 to $4,000 a month, just think about how much supplemental income that is to your job already. You can't focus on trying to make $50,000 to $100,000 in 1 month if if you don't have the leverage. But that'll come in the future, right? If you want it to. Yeah, so how I dropped the fib, look at this price. Price is really dropping. That's a strong level, guys. So from this first high to low, so look at this low to high. I chart it from this low to high, and then that's what gives you those standard deviations. Yeah, no problem. I usually trade 1 to 2 minis, and it depends. If I just want to open up like a 25K account or a 50K account, then sometimes I'll scale down and I'll do sometimes 5 micros, 8 micros, but it depends. The only time I'm gonna go, if I'm trading a 25K account, the only time I'll go in more than 5 micros is if I'm already in a winning trade and I just want to scale into that trade and let it run and move my stop to break even. Let's say I got in up here with 5 micros, I'm on a 25K account and price really drops. And then we retrace here. Okay, maybe I want to scale in heavier because I don't mind getting stopped out at break even on this trade. So I'm just going to scale in another 5 micros and move my stop to break even. Even if my break even moves down to here, if I really expect a drop from this level, the only time I'll scale in heavy on a small account is if I'm in a winning trade already and I think price is really going to drop from a certain level. So then even if my break even moves down pretty low, I don't mind having my stop at that level, right? Because then it's a risk-free trade. So you got to think about cutting your losers and adding into your winners, right? Adding into your winners and cutting your losers. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, yeah, exactly. But I found that trading just 1 to 2 cons for me, 1 to 2 minis has been pretty, can be pretty solid. Especially on like, you just have like a 100K, 150K account. Even sometimes on a 50K account, if I'm winning, if I'm in a winning trade, sometimes I'll even scale in. I'll scale into 2 minis on a 50K account if I'm in a winning trade already. That's the only time I'll do that. I'm not going to scale in 1 to 2 right off the bat, right? But if I'm in a winning trade and I really don't mind getting stopped out at break even, I'll do that. What if it retraces on you before moving the stop loss? I move the stop loss quick. If I'm going to scale in heavier on a position, I'll move my stop loss right away. Right away. And if it doesn't, I'll just exit all, right? And maybe I'll lose a little bit more. Maybe I'll lose a little bit more. Yeah, that's the problem. People get, you want to scale in super heavy all the time. But trust me, guys, micros can be your best friend. Because you can really scale in and out with micros pretty solid. Especially on these smaller accounts, guys. You can't be focusing on those 1 day passing. Like, everybody gets so excited about the 1 day passing. And it's like, yeah, that's just going to build the worst habit possible for trading. It's going to make you think that you're going to get rich quick when that's not how trading works. Like, if that's what you think trading is, maybe you get lucky every once in a while and you catch a huge trade, you get a payout, but that's not going to build a habit, and it's not going to build a good habit and a foundation for you to continue that success. That's only going to be a one-time thing. All right, so that's why I focus so much on building the good habits, building that foundation from the start, so that you can have this skill for the rest of your life. And like even today for me, guys, I'm up about $200 from last night. If I don't take any more trades, if I don't take any trades today, I don't really care. Because at the end of the day, I'm still green, and if I don't see any of my high probability setups, I won't take them. I won't take any trades, and I'll be fine. I don't I don't need to take any more trades today. But if there's a setup that I really like, I'll take it. Okay, look at how we created equal lows down here. So we just generated some more sell side liquidity. And what I mean by generated, guys, is when we see price come down and make a low, and then we see price come down again and make a low right around that same level, we're generating liquidity, right? It's because people are adding stop loss orders. They're adding stop loss orders. They're putting in limit orders, right? So this is liquidity. This is now a liquidity pool because we see it was already liquidity here, but now it's even stronger because now we have more orders sitting below this level. More orders sitting below this level. Right, it barely grabbed, it barely broke below, and it grabbed some liquidity, but now look. Now we have more orders here. We now have more orders here. Okay, because now all the people that are in long are going to have their stop loss orders here. And even the people here that were in long, some of their stop losses are going to be down here, right? Maybe even down at this liquidity level. And now all the people that want shorts to come in, some people might have sell limit orders here, right? So when we see equal highs formed, that's when you got to notice, okay, there's probably liquidity here. Yeah, exactly. When it's taking liquidity on both sides, it's a ranging day. So that's what it's kind of like seek and destroy conditions, where that just means that price is ranging down, grabbing sell side liquidity, coming up, grabbing buy side liquidity, coming down, grabbing sell side, right? So you can trade that, but it can be a tricky thing to trade, especially if you're not experienced. But you could trade the range where, we bounce off this level, take the shorts down to here, bounce out this level, take the longs up to here, right? But sometimes it can be really difficult to trade. Yeah, exactly. You trade the range and then it breaks out. It's exactly. That's what happens. That'll happen, like that's something that happens to me, right? I always laugh because like a lot of people know, like a lot of my sessions in the past, I'll hop on, we'll see a really good setup, I'll get in it, and then price just starts to consolidate for the next 15 minutes. I'm just like, of course, right? And then like I'll get in a trade at the top of a range, and then oh nope, this is when the breakout happens, right? I just laugh because what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? It's just comical. It's comical. It's not comical if you scaled in too heavy and then you didn't have a good stop, because then that's just frustrating. But if you scaled in right, and it can be funny because you're like, of course, like you just think that the people that are running this market, the people that are moving these orders, are just watching you, and they're like, oh, right when Trader Joe goes in, that's when we're gonna mess with him. That's when we're gonna make price pump. Alright, okay, so we're bouncing off of this order, or this breaker again. We have this fair value gap, right? It's kind of a balanced price range here inside, so we could, this is the problem, guys. We could see price take out this range, but we also could see price bounce from this breaker again. Normally, after testing a breaker so many times, I would expect it to get taken out. I would expect price to finally come up and take it out. Bankman-Fried sentenced to 20 years. 20 years. He must have some good lawyers. He had a lot of sentences. Yeah, he did have lots of money. Lots of money. Might not have been his money, but he still had it. We thought about making a PDF with intermodel, something like this. No, that'd be cool. I could definitely work on something like that. Yeah, that would be cool. On my course I'm coming out with, I do have a few like kind of pictures like that that I'm working on. But yeah, that would be cool to turn them into PDFs. I'm sure that would be helpful for a lot of people. See, like, I'm tempted to take shorts off this range, but again, like I said, we've tested this level so many times where I'm like, price could finally break through that level. Right? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I feel like Abundant Being, you've literally been at, like, said the same thing as me like 5 times today. I'll say something, I'll look up, and you just said the same exact thing. See, and like this is what I mean. Like we're pushing through. It's like, is this when we're gonna break through, or is this when we're gonna actually? Are we gonna respect it again? Right, we're still respecting this 1 minute, this balanced price range here. But no, we keep like this up here. We close at the very top of this level, and like, I just feel like at some point we gotta come up higher, at least come up to this order block up here, up to this fair value gap up here. So like with a 25K account, I'd usually stick to like no more than 4 to 5 micros. 50K account, I'd probably go like, if you're really good with managing your risk, you could go up more to like 5 to 8 micros, but if you struggle with managing your risk, I would keep it under 5 micros even on a 50K account. But if you're good at managing your risk, you could go up to like 8 micros. And that's up to you. That's normally what I kind of look at. And like I said, if I am in a 50K account and I see a trade that's winning already, I'll add in more than that if I don't mind getting stopped out at break even. Yeah, exactly. When it retraces half of the range already. Yeah, exactly. So we just have this liquidity. We have all this liquidity up here still. And we grab some of it, right? We have this liquidity down here. I do like that we're respecting this 1 minute, but I just don't like taking any trades right now. How many mini for 50K account is reasonable? I mean, honestly, you probably should not be going more than 1 mini on a 50K account. That should definitely, that for me, that would be like probably my max. But again, if you are very good with your risk and you are in a winning trade and you want to add into it, then yeah, you could add one more. But you know, you don't want to over leverage yourself just because you want to pass quick. Those shorts coming in. See, like, okay, let's say you want to trade the range. Say you want to take shorts right now. Where would your stop be? That'd be pretty good, right? Even if you had it above this high, it's only like, you could have like a 35 tick stop. So, I mean, the risk is not bad for these trades, guys. It's not bad. But, you know, you try to catch it down to these lows down here. It's not bad. But you're still taking the risk because price could still come up and sweep these highs. Right, and this is what price will do. It'll manipulate you into thinking that we're going to respect this level again, and then it'll go up and it'll grab liquidity, and then it'll drop, right? I'm not in. I was just telling people if they were to play the range, that would be like probably where I would keep my risk. But look, this is exactly what I was saying, guys. Exactly what I just said. They'll bait you into thinking that the shorts are coming in from the top of the range, and then then they'll come up and they'll grab that liquidity and they'll take your stop. This is literally the exact thing I just said. It's just a trap. They're just trapping you every time. Okay, so now this 1 minute has finally been disrespected. Okay, so the 1 minute's finally been closed above here. Okay, sizing differently from an eval to PA, that's a hard thing, right? Because I don't like to size differently on a PA, because then you start changing up your mindset and you start changing up your strategy, and it can mess with you. Because you know how many times that's happened to me where I sized down on a PA because and then I started taking dumb trades, and I started, overthinking it, and that ended up making me take worse trades and have a worse mindset than if I would have just kept the same sizing on my PA. Alright, I like to keep it the same. Because then the other thing you'll do is if you're close to passing, like if you're close to getting funded, or up to that, that payout level, then you'll really size down, and then you'll start to, be very, very, you'll overthink pretty much every trade, which will then cause you to probably take some bad trades. So I just like to keep it the same size, personally. Or to treat OB or breakers as one time, I mean like in demand supply zones and more times. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. The way I look at it, it's also about mitigation. So it's like, when we saw price come up here, and if we go back to that, so like we saw price come up to here. So the first few times, we didn't come up too far, right? We still kind of respected it. We stayed around the 50% all this time. But then up here, we mitigated and we closed at the very top. That kind of showed me that this level is probably not as strong as it was before, right? This level is probably not as strong as it was before. And I would probably expect price to try to push through it the next time. Okay, that's kind of how I see it. But I always expect a reaction off that level until it doesn't happen. Right? I always expect price to react off that level because it's been respected a few times until it's finally, closed above. Then I'm like, okay, it's It's no more. This is just what I mean. This is what I mean, guys. Look how it came up, barely touched above this liquidity up here, and then dropped. Right? This is seek and destroy. Yeah, and that's the mindset you get in, right? You want to pass your evaluation fast, and then do the right habits for trading. It doesn't work like that. That's not how trading works. If you can't do the right habits right away with your eval, you're not going to do the same thing when it comes to your PA. That's not how our brain works. That is not how our brain works. Again, guys, yeah, like for me, I don't mind sitting out of this. I don't mind not taking any trades right now. I don't really like this. And maybe we'll see some better price action come power hour in the afternoon. But for now, I don't really like this stuff. Alright, but we did come up and grab liquidity again, so we could expect a drop, right? Every time we come up and grab liquidity, we expect us to come back down and grab liquidity down here. So the shorts could come all the way back down, and they could grab this liquidity, but they have to push through this order block here. They got to push through this imbalance here. They got to push through VWAP and come all the way back down, right? But in normal seek and destroy conditions, you would expect every time price comes up and grabs internal liquidity, it'll come back down and try to grab sell side liquidity. It'll come back up, grab buy side. It'll come back down, grab sell side. That's kind of what you expect to happen. That's what you expect to happen. I'll catch you, AZ Sunshine. Market is closed tomorrow, so I won't see you tomorrow. But I will see you on Monday. This is like our Friday today. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Happy Easter. Yeah, market is closed for the holiday. Yeah, Good Friday, Easter. At least that's what I thought. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be closed. We'll see about Monday. I think I should be on for market open on Monday. I shouldn't have even said that. I shouldn't have even said that because now I bet a bunch of people are like, "No, it's gonna be closed tomorrow. I gotta take a bunch of trades." Yep, it is closed tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. See, guys, look at there's the dump every time. Every time. This is true seek and destroy. Okay, so here's what I would expect. If we come back down and take out these lows, I would expect us to come back up and take out these highs. So maybe I'd think about taking a long position if we come down and take out these lows. This is, I mean, although I haven't been trading it, we've pretty much been predicting everything that's happened so far. All right, like I said, we're going to come up. They're going to bait us here thinking the shorts are coming in now. But nope, they're going to come up and grab liquidity, and then they're going to drop, and they're going to come try to grab this liquidity down here because we generated equal lows. So pretty much everything that's been happening, we have kind of predicted, but it's just still not price action that I want to trade, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, you can still take advantage of it, but you got to know what you're doing. I mean, look at that. We're coming down for those equal lows. It's predatory. It is. There we go. Yeah, if you take those shorts, good stuff. I mean, you know, we did say it. We did say it. Okay, and now these longs might step in from here. But look how aggressive this is. This kind of looks like shorts are trying to continue. Maybe grab a little bit more sell side. We'll see. We'll see. Either we're going to come down and try to grab more lows down here and here, and we might actually see some true price action come into play, or we're just going to grab this liquidity and we're going to come back up. Let's look at the 15-minute. Oh yeah, this 15-minute is awful. Look at that. That is just terrible. Okay, but like I said, now I might expect price to go back up from here if we continue the stalling. If not, we'll come down and try to grab a little bit more liquidity. I'm like almost tempted to try to long, but at the same time, like I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it because this is the most aggressive pump or drop we've seen yet. This is the most aggressive pump or drop we've seen during this entire session so far. Right? But look at this 5-minute. Look how if this 5-minute like closes without closing below these lows, then I would probably expect price to really pump from here. But if the 5-minute comes down and closes below, well, then we might continue down for some more sell side liquidity. Let's look. Yeah, this is probably the most aggressive candle we've seen in a while in terms of actually following through. But again, the 15-minute hasn't closed yet, so we don't know. We could see price continue. But off the 1 hour and the 4 hour, you would expect price to really drop from here because we're in these higher time frame bearish imbalances. We have this order block up here, pretty strong order block that we wicked into. But in these conditions, I'm not really looking at our long-term stuff. In these conditions, I'm really just looking at up and down, up and down, up and down. But this is tough here. This is tough. On a normal day, I would expect shorts to continue. You know, they might continue, especially off this reaction we're seeing off this imbalance, but yeah, no, it looks like we just want to keep ranging. And maybe in the afternoon, we might see some more breakouts. Maybe right now we keep dumping, but yeah, I know. It's pretty frustrating when the market just consolidates so much. It can be pretty frustrating. But again, it's the day before a holiday. Right, we had news this morning. We had, so there's just a lot of stuff. Well, this is that fair value gap I was talking about, where if price is going to continue down, it'll probably dump from here. The shorts will probably continue down from this level. If not, they'll come up to around VWAP into this fair value gap. But if price is going to dump, it's probably going to dump now. Alright, but if we are seeking destroy, let's see how that 5-minute closed. Notice how the 5-minute did not close below these lows. We wicked below. So that tells me that this could be a liquidity sweep. We didn't disrespect these lows. We didn't displace them. We might want to head back up, right? We might want to head back up. Might want to head back up. So let's see, if I wanted, I don't think I'm going to take any longs, but let's say I wanted to take the longs from here, put my stop down here, You know, if I put it at the lows, it's like 55 ticks. Unless, you know, if I got an entry down here, right? So the risk management is good because you're catching it all the way back up to these highs. But at the same time, these conditions aren't conditions that I really like to trade in. So it's just like, and we also have this fair value gap here. So I'll probably just stay out for now. But like I said, if we're going to dump, we'll probably dump from here. If we're going to pump, that 5 minute definitely did not close below these lows, did not displace them. So the longs might come back in. Yeah, thanks JB, exactly. Last day of the week, last day before holiday, last day in the month, last day of the quarter. And the market just released June rate cuts are almost off the table. That's, yeah. Thank you for saying that, JB, because that just tells us we're not gonna have good price action. We are not gonna have good price action. Yeah, today is the last day of the quarter. This is the last trading day of March, guys. Last trading day of March. So, yeah, quarter one was very weird. For me personally, January sucked. January was one of my worst trading months. February got a lot better, and March was really good for me. March was really good for me. But quarter two, you know, maybe price will start to, the market will start to get a little better. And again, the other thing too, guys, it's really hard to trade at all-time highs. It's very hard to trade, and we've been at all-time highs a lot lately. So it can be pretty difficult to trade when we're at those all-time highs. It can be hard to do your technical analysis because you expect the longs to continue, but at any point they just drop, right? Because we don't have any levels above to base any of our analysis off of. So it's difficult. It is. And I know that could probably cause a lot of people to struggle. Yeah, this order block here. Yeah, I mean, we could see a dump from here for sure. But again, we do have like some bearish breakers on higher time frames. Barely bearish breakers. Yeah, I mean, this looks like it's setting up to dump. It looks like it's setting up to really drop. It really does. Remember, we have some imbalances above. We have not touched into those imbalances except for on the 1 minute. If we look at the 5 minute, yeah, it looks like we want to dump here. We had this high, low, higher, high, but you just want to see displacement, right? So we just closed below these lows now. So that's a good sign. I think the shorts might really come in from here. All right, off this level. Off that level right there. Yeah, shorts look pretty good, guys. Not gonna lie. Shorts look pretty good. Just got to be careful on trying to take trades that are like breakouts, right? Trying to take trades that are actually going to expand the market because of our price action today has been a lot of ups and downs and ranging. So on a day like today, we can't assume that price is truly going to expand because we just keep going back up and forth, back and forth, up and down. All right, so it's kind of tough. Although price action looks like it really wants to drop from here on the 5 minute, got to be careful. Because look at these long wicks down. Look at these long wicks down. But again, normal price action, price looks bearish. Assumption it can kill you. It's difficult. You want to be able to predict the market, right? You want to be able to predict the market, but you also need to understand that not all your predictions are going to be correct. And that's where risk management comes into play, and that's where A+ setups come into play. Because if you've backtested and you've taken so many trades based off of certain setups and they've worked so many times, well, that helps you predict better. That helps you figure out what are my high probability setups in the market. But if you just see one setup and you've never really tested it and you just keep trying to make it work, that's not very good. Okay, so we created this 5-minute bearish fair value gap inside of this breaker, right? So we do have a breaker technically, but it's also seek and destroy, so it's not really the same. It's not really the same. But a normal day, right, this would be a unicorn. You would expect price to pump up into this level on the 5-minute, probably bounce off around VWAP and then really drop. Seek and destroy is this, guys. It's kind of what I've been talking about, where we're ranging and it's just price takes out buy side liquidity, takes out sell side liquidity, takes out buy side liquidity, takes out sell side, takes out buy side, takes out sell side, right? This has happened all of these times. Yeah, it is a scalper's paradise for sure. If you really can understand seek and destroy, you can scalp and make some good trades off of it for sure. That's what that means. Yes, a fair value gap is an imbalance. It's an imbalance, a pricing inefficiency, right? Pricing inefficiency. Right, this 5-minute fair value gap, too many sellers, not enough buyers, right? Too many sellers, not enough buyers. So that's an inefficiency in price. That's a fair value gap. So price, these tend to act as magnets. Price will come back up. We'll try to fill that imbalance, and then often we'll get a bounce from that level. Alright, we're still consolidating down here. This is still consolidating. But again, I like the shorts from here. I do. I do like the shorts from here. They look like they're set up for success. But I'll keep warning you that our conditions in the market today might not even offer us an expansion move. And what I mean by expansion move is price truly breaking down and moving. Sometimes, like on a market like today, we'll just keep going. If you were going to take the shorts, what I would target would be these lows down here. I'm going to take out this. These lows down here. And if we look at some higher time frames, so look at these equal lows down here. I would target this level. I'd probably, if you're going to hold for a long time, I would continue to hold these down to these lows here. If this was going to be an expansion move. If you just want to scalp it, I would probably just take TP right around this level and be out. So like right around 18,457, right? 18,457. So on ES, 15-minute zone, into a 15-minute zone on 310 on ES. 15-minute zone. I mean, we're coming down to VWAP, and we do have like an inverse fair value gap over here. And this is what I mean, like price could still pump, and that's why I'm not really, you haven't seen me get any entries on any trades so far. But that's why I keep saying on a normal day of price action, I would expect the shorts to come because we're bouncing off a 4-hour and a 1-hour bearish fair value gap. Right, higher time frame imbalances give us more confirmation. We formed a bearish breaker on the 5-minute time frame. We formed a fair value gap inside of that breaker. It looks like price wants to come down. Price looks very bearish. But me personally, I might wait. You know, I would probably wait for us to come up, maybe retest VWAP, come up into the unicorn off this fair value gap, give myself better risk management. And you know, I'll probably go in light. If I go in this trade at all, right, I would keep a stop above this level, probably like 40 ticks, and try to catch it down to this level for about 140 ticks. Okay, so it would be like a 3.5 RR. And I don't even know if I'm going to take this setup. But if I took it, that's what I would be looking for. I'd look for price to come up to here, short, all the way down to these lows. All the way down to these lows. All right. Right there. And look at those shorts are dropping. There they go. There they go. There they go. Okay, took out this low. This could also be a TP level here. I don't know if anybody took these shorts or not. I'm sure some people did. I didn't take them. But this low could be a TP. This low down here could be a full TP. Right. So if you did take these shorts, I would definitely probably take TP, at least TP1 at this point. Or at least think about it. Or just hold all the way down to these lows because price is dropping. Price is dropping. But again, guys, the structure's there for sure. Structure's there for sure, and that's why I'm still like calling these out. Just depending on your trading style, I still want to call out the setups that I see, even if I'm not going to take them. Because I know some people are a little more aggressive than me and want to still take trades, and that's fine. And that's why I still call it out. That's why I'm still sitting here talking to you guys, because I still see this level. I still see this trade. And if you guys want to take it, I want to be there to, you know, at least try to help you understand what price is doing. Again, that's why I said right here could have been a good first TP. All right, let's say you said you got an entry at 483. Okay, so you got an entry a little bit lower. So you probably didn't want to take profit already. I don't know, you still hit around 40 ticks. But if you know, you might hold that all the way down to these lows down here. 100 ticks for you. Okay, we just formed this. This is like one of the other best entries on these types of setups. Right here. 1 minute fair value gap after breaking out. 1 minute fair value gap after breaking out gets respected so many times and can be very good. Can be a very good entry level. Right, so like if I was going to add into my position here, I would add in once we entered this fair value gap. I probably would have added in already. Short at 18,491. Okay, so your entry is a little better. So you're at 491. Nice. So that means I probably would have taken profit if I were you already, or at least taken first TP, because you already hit, right? Like you already hit 75 ticks then. Right, so if I were you, I probably would have taken profit already. Okay, here's the deal. If you wanted to get an entry here, you could think about getting an entry, holding a stop up. You could still have pretty good risk management on this trade, actually. I might even, like, I've even thought about getting in this trade off this level. It's kind of too late for me now. It's kind of too late for me now, but yeah, so the entry off this level. Okay, so I'm gonna use Abundant Bean, just your entry as an example because it was a really good entry. So 9-1 was the entry. And I'm going to explain this trade real quick. Again, if you're still holding, I would definitely look to take another TP down here at this second standard deviation at this low. But if we look at a 5 minute here, guys, we formed this high, low, higher, high, took out the low. We retested that breaker. So this is a bearish breaker. If you got an entry in that bearish breaker, we have equal lows down here, right? So levels of liquidity. Yeah, it's not breaking very strong right now. It's not breaking very strong. At this point though, if you got an entry up high, you should probably have your stop at break even. But again, look how we came down, we broke, formed a fair value gap, respected the fair value gap, broke, formed the fair value gap, but now we're trying to break up. And this is what I mean by this right here, and I'm sure some people have taken profit hopefully, but this right here is why I haven't gotten any entries so far, just because of our price action today, guys. This is the only reason I haven't gotten any entries yet, is because of this price action. So that 1 minute has been disrespected now. But again, if you've gotten that short, like took profit, I would have that stop at break even. I'm sure some people would probably be out of that trade already, right? So that's what I would say. But we formed this 5 minute. If we come up into here, there still could be a short opportunity up from this 5 minute as a unicorn entry, right? Like if we look up here, if we come up to these highs, right, there could still be a short entry opportunity. Let me get rid of this. Right, if we use our fib from our first low to first high, then we could also see, look at that, our first standard deviation is right at this low. It's right at this low. Right? So like it lines up pretty well. So you could even, if you want to take the shorts, I'm telling you, I haven't taken any trades yet, but if you wanted to take the shorts, right, you would take them off the test of the breaker, you would take them off entry into the fair value gap up here. There's different entries you can take depending on how aggressive you are as a trader. Now, some people might not want to get an entry because of this hard retracement back up, and I understand that. But if we, right, what I would be looking for is if we come up into this fair value gap, this is probably the only trade I would look for today. I'd probably look for this trade. I'd keep like a 40 to 45 tick stop, and I would just let it ride and sit back, and I know my risk. So this is the only trade I'd really look for, down to these lows. Pretty good RR, like 3.5, 3.6 RR. So I don't hate, I would kind of like taking that trade. And the only thing you got to be careful about is the seek and destroy. Is price going to come back up and take out these highs? And that's the one thing you're risking. You're risking the possibility of price coming up and sweeping these highs all the way up here. So that's the risk you have to understand if you're going to get in this trade, right? So if price comes up and I see a good reaction off this level, I'll look to take it short. But if we continue bullish super aggressively, I probably won't get an entry. Right? But if we start to react and start to see a reaction down, I might think about taking a short. Just because of this 5 minute. Okay, so now we've entered that fair value gap. But if we're pumping, there's no point in me getting an entry in the shorts. Alright, only if we start to see resistance off this level, reaction off this level. Okay, I just got in the shorts. I'm going to test it out here. I'm going to test it out. So my entry's low. My entry's at 18,489.50. And if, like I said, guys, this is the only trade I've taken today. If I get stopped out, oh well. I'll be done. I'm fine. Okay, I'm going to keep my stop at 50 ticks just above VWAP. So my stop's going to be at 18,502. Right? 18,502. Yeah, 18,502. I mean, that's a good dump so far. I'll probably take my first TP if we can break these lows at like 70 ticks. And if not, oh well. And again, if you just want to take a 1-to-1 RR, if you just want to take a 1-to-1, you can do that. Which would be like 40, 50 ticks depending on where your stop is. But so far, guys, we just hit 41 ticks from where we first got in. So, I mean, it's a pretty good drop. We have this 1 minute bullish fair value gap that we'd have to see us push through. So there's a lot of things you could do with this trade. You want to make it a risk-free trade, you could just move your stop to break even at this point. Alright, there's a lot of different things you could do. I'm going to keep my stop where it's at. Alright, I like this setup so far. I like the shorts. My first TP is down here at this low. This is my first TP. And like I said, if you want to take your first TP now, you can. Right? If you think price is going to keep pumping, we're already probably at a 1-to-1 here. Yeah, we just hit a 1-to-1, so you could take your first TP. Alright, I'm going to keep holding this. I'm going to let it ride. Okay? I don't really, and that's the thing, I don't care if I get stopped out. I don't care. Yes, guys, I'm in the shorts. I called it out off the unicorn setup off the 5 minute. Called it out. My first TP is at this low here at 18,472.50. And I'll probably look to take full TP all the way down at 18,457.25. And if, yeah, guys, we're at a 1-to-1 already. So if you don't like the stalling, you could take your profit. I might even think about taking my profit around here. If we keep stalling, I might think about adjusting my plan, taking my profit just because we have an order block down here. But so far, I haven't taken any profit. Still have my stop at about 50 ticks, resting above our breaker, resting above that 5 minute fair value gap. Okay, so I don't, you know, I'm just letting this one ride. I'm just letting this one ride for now. I really don't mind getting, if I get stopped out of this, I don't really care. Okay, we have this 1 minute fair value gap. Could see a bounce from this level. Could see a bounce from this level. Right here. Would want to see a bounce from that level. Would want to see a strong bounce. Yeah, honestly, like, this order block down here does seem like a strong level of support. It does seem like a strong level of support, but we really just bounced off that fair value gap pretty hard. So let's see. If we do come back down, you know, and we start to stall again, I'll just take my first TP at this order block. But if we get really aggressive, then I'll just hold it all the way down to this level. Yeah, I have my trade execution on my Tradovate screen. It's on a different screen. It's on a different screen, but I had my entry here. It's at 489.50. Stop is at 18,502. First TP is at 18,472.25. Okay, so like I said, I'm just gonna let this ride. I'm just gonna let this ride. Because it's a unicorn. We look at the 5 minute. We formed this fair value gap inside of a bearish breaker, and then I waited for us to get a strong reaction off of that fair value gap up here. So then I got an entry down below. So that's why I took that. I wanted to wait because we were moving up so aggressively. I wanted to wait for us to start reacting down to really get an entry. And because even if I did wait, we still have good risk management. I can still keep a stop above the breaker, so I didn't mind. Again, guys, if you don't like stalling and you want to take your profit, you could take your profit right now. We're around 30-40 ticks. If you want to move your stop to break even, make it a risk-free trade, you can do that. We're in profit, so you have all the ability, all the options in the world right now to leave this trade with profit if you don't like it. For me, I like to stick to my plan. I like to hold my trade. I like to see it through. But again, I'll adjust my plan because we are stalling so much at this order block. You know, maybe if we stall again down here, I'll take profit. Maybe if we stall again down here, I'll take profit and I won't wait for it to break through. These longs are looking strong though, so you know, if the longs step in here, oh well, that's okay. But this 1 minute fair value gap has seen a strong bounce from it multiple times. Multiple times. right? I like the reaction we've seen off of that fair value gap. It's been pretty solid. Pretty solid so far. So what are we sitting at? Let's see how many ticks we're sitting at right now. So far we're sitting like around 36, 35 ticks. Again, our first TP is at about 68 ticks. That's where my first TP is at least. So just trade this according to your own style. If you're in this trade, trade it according to your own style. Some people like to move their stops to break even before taking profit. That's fine. Sometimes I'll even do that. Some people will take profit and just scalp this. That's also fine. You could scalp this. You could hold it all the way through. Remember, the market conditions sometimes, like today, they're not really offering us too big of moves, so I understand scalping this. It makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Some people like to move their stop to break even. Even before taking profit, or I like to move it after taking profit, but there's some trades that I'll just move it to break even when I'm in profit just to make sure it's not a losing trade. But like I said, this trade, I don't really mind losing this trade. Like, if I lose this trade, oh well. This is kind of the only setup I've seen so far that I've liked. So we disrespected that 1 minute. We're retesting this breaker again. Retesting that breaker again. Okay, so we just bounced. I don't know if we touched that. We might have touched that breaker. So we retested it one more time. Again, a lot of opportunities to take profit if you just want to scalp. I'm continuing to hold this trade. Continuing to hold this trade for now. But if we come back down, I might take my first TP down back at this order block. But let's see. Yeah, we're bouncing off this like balanced price range right here a lot. Still holding all my levels right now. Still holding all my levels where they're at. We'll see if we get that drop here. If not, it's okay. I like these shorts still. I still like them. Still like them. There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Keep going. Alright, I just took my first TP. Guys. I took it at this order block, like I said. Okay? I'm just going to move my stop to break even. At this point, we keep stalling at that level. So I just took that first TP. Okay, I still took it at like 60 ticks. Or 50 something ticks. I took it at 50 ticks. Okay, so that's a 1-to-1. 1-to-1. So I'm fine with that. Okay, like I said, that's when I would adjust my plan, is if we saw a bounce from this order block again. So we bounced. I just wanted to take profit, secure it. And now I just have my stop at break even, which is at 849.50, so it's just above this high. And I'll just let this one ride with my full TP down at where is it at? Let's see, 18.45725. Okay. So I took my first TP. This is a risk-free trade now. This is now a risk-free trade. Stop is at break even, just over here. Just over here. This is where my stop's at. So, I mean, we just had a winning trade. Either way, even if we get stopped out, it's a winning trade. We hit a 1-to-1. At the least, we hit a 1-to-1. Okay? On a day like today, I will take that. I will take that. And now we'll see. Is it going to keep dropping? It's risk-free at this point. So, if we get stopped at break even, oh well. If we keep dropping, awesome. But this is when I adjust to my plan, is when I see a strong level that price bounces off of, like an order block, and we come retest that level and see a reaction. Well, that's when I can't be stubborn, and I'll start to adjust my plan, right? Because we're still at a 1-to-1, so I'm fine with taking that TP around 50 ticks. So, yeah, in these conditions, 50 ticks I'll take. I'll take 50 ticks. And I wasn't even planning on taking a trade, right? I didn't even think I was going to take a trade, so a win is a win. A win is a win. Now we just hope that it keeps dropping. It doesn't take us out. We'll see. We'll see. Got you guys. Got you. Yeah, I'll go over what I looked for. Once this trade is done, I'm gonna do a little recap and we'll talk about it. What I looked for. Yes, I got in short up at 18.4950. We've been in short for a while now, just kind of watching it ride. Took profit. We took our first TP at this order block down here. Once we retested it, about 50 ticks. Now our stop is at break even. I'm just kind of seeing if this is going to drop or if we're going to get stopped at a break even. Either way, risk-free trade now. We profited from this trade. Yeah, what time frame is that? Is that the 5 minute? I can't, it's 15 minute. Let's see. Let's look at the 15 minute. Yeah, the 15 minute fair value gap for sure. It's definitely being respected. But what I was looking at the most was our 4 hour and 1 hour bearish fair value gaps. But yeah, good eye. Good eye for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you hop on live sessions with me every day, I'll be teaching. I'm also going to be doing a masterclass with Tori with more in-depth teaching, more like person, like more interactive stuff. So the masterclass, it's going to be coming up soon. We're still making, getting all the details down, making sure it's going to be legit, and we want to make it the best possible experience for people that are going to be paying the money for it. But yeah, we're going to be sending updates. I'm working on a lot of stuff today, hopefully getting a lot of stuff figured out for that, and then we'll be letting you know. The price is still just chilling, consolidating in this area. Still consolidating. So, I mean, I'm just letting this one ride, guys. I'm just letting this one ride. And, guys, one thing I think is super important is, for me, it's creating your own style of trading based off of someone else's strategy, right? If you can learn someone else's strategy and make it your own, that's the most important thing. And I think, that's what me and Tori have done, right? We've taken ICT and we've made it our own, right? We've figured out which ones work for us, which entry models we like, which ones are high probability. We figured out our risk management strategy. We figured out our psychology, all of these different things, right? And that's what it's about. And that's what I'm trying to help other people with now, is learning the strategy, but making it your own, making it unique to your own style, right? Look at these shorts trying to dump right now. This order block has been holding really strong, actually. If you want to get out completely here, you could, right? You could get out completely here. This order block is holding pretty strong. We've seen it retested like 3 times already. This is like our 3rd time retesting this level. I'm still holding this at break even. At this point, for me, I just want to see it. I just want to see it drop. I want to see it drop all the way to my full TP. Might be a little greedy of me, but I like it. I like the setup. But again, if you're more conservative, we're seeing a lot of bouncing off of this order block, so you could just get out here. Right? You could take your profit. You could be good. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, right? We have free choice. At least we think we do. So like I said, I'm still holding at break even. I know, JB. That's what I was saying earlier. We've literally been ranging between our Asia highs, Asia lows, London highs, London lows the entire day. And we've swept both of them. We've swept the highs and the lows, but we keep staying inside of those ranges. Which is, why I just took my profit once we hit this order block and then moved my stop to break even, because we might not see that breakout, right? We might not see that breakout. We might just keep seeing the range. It's been a very strange day. Very strange day. Looks like our break-even's about to get hit. Unless we keep consolidating. Unless we keep consolidating, we'll see. Like on a normal day of price action, I would have expected this one to really dump and really just keep going. But on a ranging day, I understand why we haven't really broken through, right? And we do have some imbalances, bullish imbalances below, like that, like that 15-minute. I know someone brought that up, as well as a breaker. So there's reasons why we could be bouncing from this level too. But coming out of a 4-hour bearish fair value gap, seeing this 5-minute breaker being respected, unicorn model, really expect a strong drop. But no, today's a ranging day, so we're just going to go up and down for a while. Which is fine. I'm still holding. I'm still holding. I mean, we've created lower lows and almost lower highs. This has kind of been even. But lower low, lower high, kind of equal high. At this point for me, there's no reason to move my stop. I just want to let this either drop, take me out at break even, because I still made money. So I don't really care. I don't really care at this point. What have you guys done in this trade though? Have you guys taken profit? Have you guys gotten fully out? Have you guys taken any profit? I want to know what you guys are doing in this trade as well. Or did you guys take this trade? Did some people not take the trade? Missed my entry. It's okay. Got out at 10 points. There you go. Took your profit. Took some profit. Took my profit at first TP. Nice, guys. Good stuff. Good stuff. I really like this. Like, a lot of people, I've been getting, a lot of you just said, I'm not taking any trades because I already made my money, or I'm just learning. That's what I love to hear. A lot of people have already taken profits. That's what I love to hear. You guys are adjusting. You're sticking to your own trading style. You're sticking to your plans. I love it. And especially those people that are not trading because they've either already made money, maybe you've lost money, or maybe you're just not trading at all because of these conditions. And I really like that you guys are doing that and just learning. And just learning, right? Man, this consolidation is crazy. Crazy. Yeah, this is a good level to take, take that full TP. It's definitely a good level to take that full TP. Danny made us full port today. No, market conditions are kind of too annoying for me today. If we did break this low, I would just keep holding this trade until I hit TP. I wouldn't really enter anything else. This is definitely going to be my last trade. That's why I'm just kind of letting it ride. And that's why I haven't really taken full TP. Just kind of, either hit my full TP or hit my break even at this point. since I already took profit, right? It'd be different if I didn't take profit already. So yeah, these conditions suck for sure. These conditions are not fun. That's why I've been in this trade for how long? I don't even know when we got in this trade. Like 12:30. What time is it? Okay, so we've been in this for like 20 minutes. What is the TradingView tool you are using to measure order block entries and exits? That is the Fibonacci retracements tool. This one right here. The Fibonacci retracement tool. That's for I'm measuring my breaker blocks. I think that's what you were talking about. No, the large 2-color block. Oh, this one right here. This is for my, let's see, what is this called? I don't even know what this is called. It's over here. I think it's just long short position. Long position, short position. Yep, it's these over here, long position, short position. That's how you can see how many ticks your stop is, how many ticks your take profit is. Guys, we keep bouncing back and forth. Are we gonna break out to the lows? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? That's facts. The only way to become a profitable trader is to realize that you need to focus on yourself. It's true. Your biggest challenge is yourself. Yeah, I trust the market, right? I don't remember, this was a while ago, but I don't know who was there for that. When I got in that one trade, and I was in it for like over an hour, and there's still people just chilling watching it. Now that was unbearable. That was tough. And I finally got stopped out at break even after I got stopped out at after an hour and a half or something. Well, here's what's probably going to happen. I can probably predict it. Is we're going to come up. We're going to grab my stop at break even. We're going to take buy side. And then we're going to drop. Yep. Exactly. %, with 1% max risk. Nice. Yeah, the 2022 model is fantastic. Fantastic. Good stuff. That's awesome. Making 20% with only 1% max risk per trade is really solid. Very solid. Okay guys, how much you want to bet? We're going to come up. We're going to take out my stop. We're going to bounce. And then we're going to drop all the way. Taking out full TP. Take some side bets. Just kidding. We don't do that. This is like crazy consolidation. This is insane. Hey, I'm glad you guys are still here hanging out with me. Uh-oh, I think I just started something really bad. Oh, man. Patiently waiting. Patiently waiting. I should just post this entire video on my Instagram, just like a 30-minute long trade. I don't think that's possible. Anyways, what do you guys have planned for this weekend? You got some Easter plans? Got a long weekend. Any plans? Any plans? Anybody going to church? DoorDash, nice. Easter plans, watch ICT. Church, going to see girlfriend's family, nice. Pop's birthday and then a quince, that sounds fun. I'm gonna do some oil painting, nice. Oh, your name's literally Jesse Ozar Art. That's sick. Church, nice. Always gotta go to church on Easter. Family. Relax and not think about anything. Vespa riding. Where are you gonna be Vespa riding? I love Vespas. Get stoned and eat after you go to church, right? I like how your name is Smoke as well. You guys are really living up to your names. Riding my Bugatti scooter. Well, I'm excited for this weekend. Oh, the in-laws are coming. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Hopefully a good thing. I like how people just automatically assume that that's a bad thing. Like, for some reason I just automatically assumed that that was going to be a bad thing, that the in-laws are coming, but it could be a great thing. What part in the USA are you in? I am in Temecula, California, in between San Diego and Los Angeles. Okay, guys, this is tough here because we're sweeping sell-side liquidity, so I might just get out completely. I don't know, though. I'm at least going to move my stop a little bit into profit here. I'm just going to move my stop to these highs at like 18,487. I just moved it to 487. If you guys want to get out here, this could be the manipulation move, right? We could be sweeping liquidity and heading back up. So be careful here. I just moved my stop into profit, and it depends if we displace these lows or if we wick below. You know, we might end up just pumping from here now. We might end up pumping from here, so if you want to get out, if you're still holding this, you could get out. At this point, I'm just going to keep holding this. Might as well. I've got my stop in profit now at these highs. I'm just going to let it ride. You'll be at Red Hawk. Oh, nice. You're going to Pechanga? Oh, that's sick. Pechanga's a crazy place. Crazy place. Oh, nice. Are you playing, you're golfing at Red Hawk? Or are you golfing at the Journey course? Red Hawk, nice. Red Hawk's cool. Yeah, Journey is the best course around. I played there like last week. Well, that's what I was saying. This could be the manipulation down, and we might see price pump, right? That's why I said if you wanted to take your full profit down here, I gave you that option. You know, I let you know because a lot of time, if this is a power of three, right, we manipulate, grab sell side, and then we're going to pump up to the highs. All right, but I just moved my stop into profit at these highs, and I'm just going to see if it keeps going. Is it possible to have SMC on M and Q and NQ? I wouldn't. I don't think so. I don't think that. I mean, it's possible. Like we see the divergence sometimes, but I don't really watch that just because they're. It's the same thing. I would look at ES and NQ. It's not really. That's not something that I would look at. Yeah, Journey is pretty pricey. It's really cool. I have a good buddy who is a part of the Lucenio tribe. They're the ones that have Pechanga, that own Pechanga. So, you know, we'll go golf Journey sometimes. It's pretty fun. Yeah, so if this is a manipulation, this is the accumulation. All of this choppy sideways movement, right? That's the accumulation The manipulation would be where we move down and grab that liquidity, and then the distribution would be when we pump up. So that's why, I'm like, if you guys want to take that profit, you can. We finally broke this low. So if we displace this low, like this is why I'm still holding this trade, because we could come all the way down to my full TP here, like that. All right, we could come all the way down. I'm going to move my stop even farther into profit now. I just moved my stop up to 18,48275. Look at that, guys. Look what waiting will do for you. So if you want to take full TP around here, you can. You could hold it all the way to the break of the low. That's up to you. I move my stop up to this high right here, up to 48275. So I'm still holding this. So far now we've hit 89 ticks. My full TP is at like 129, I think, 130 ticks. Something like that. Look at that, guys. Look at that. We're still going. We are going. Patience, patience, patience is key. Patience is key. Man, I don't even know if I want to wait for us to break that low. I kind of just want to just get out. I've just been in this for so long. We do have this strong support level down here. So, I mean, look at this wick down. If you want to get out, you can. Just swept liquidity. Again, I'm still holding. I moved my stop up to this high here. Still has potential to drop from here, though. We just formed this 1 minute imbalance. We could still really drop. You must add, Joe. I could add, honestly, from here. But the only problem with adding from here, yeah, I could actually add. And then I would just have my break even would move down probably somewhere around here. My break even would move down, and I would just keep my stop at break even at that point. You must add. You're like a Jedi, bro. You almost made me do it just now. That was crazy. But yeah, guys, like I said, this still could be the manipulation move. So look at that long wick down. That's why I moved my stop to these highs. Bro, Dune, one of the best movies I've ever seen. One of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so like I said, this could be the manipulation. Longs could definitely step in from here. But we did form, like this is still an order block here. I have my stop up here, so it's in profit either way. You said it in your Jedi voice too. You made me like literally really contemplate doing it. I almost did it. It's almost like maybe you could see into the future. I don't know. Do you have any of you guys seen Dune yet? If you haven't, I really, really, really encourage you to go see it. It is, like, no joke. I've seen it twice already. Oh, I loved it. It was amazing. I saw it first in like a normal theater, and then I went and saw it in IMAX. Yeah, the ending. Oh, just everything about it. There's a theater up in Irvine in Orange County that's a 70mm IMAX theater. Insane. Biggest screen ever. When is the entry for the longs? I mean, I'm not going to enter in any longs personally. But if you wanted to enter in the longs after seeing this swing, you could enter in the longs based off of, right, we're on the 15-minute, this long wick down. So I understand taking, right, just getting out. You're taking the longs from here. I'd understand that move. Especially because of this manipulation. Alright, looks like longs are stepping in. I'm about to get stopped out in profit up here. We'll see. My stop is right here, so I'm about to get stopped out in profit. Yeah, I mean, this would be a good entry in the longs at this point. I just wanted to keep holding just in case we wanted to come down a little bit lower and grab one more sell side level. But yeah, I'm about to get stopped out in profit here. Solid trade overall. You know, maybe I should have taken my full TP down here, but at this point, after holding for this long, I was just going to hold it to my full TP no matter what. I didn't really care. Plus, I moved my stop into profit, so at that point, don't really care. Yeah, Spectrum. Yep, that theater is insane. It's like Disneyland for movie theaters. Yeah, this looks like longs really want to continue, guys. Longs really want to continue. Strong reaction. Strong reaction from this level down here from the fair value gap. 15 minute as well. I mean, these wicks are crazy, right? Long wicks, but when you see this long wick down the 15 minute, sweeping liquidity, if we don't displace these lows, you expect price to reverse, right? You expect the longs to step in. Unless this 15 minute closes below these lows, then you would expect shorts probably to continue for a little bit. But longs look like they're trying to step in here. For now, I have my stop right above here, right where price stopped at. If I get stopped out, we're in profit. Solid trade, done for the day. I'm happy. I'm happy. Been in this trade for a while. Wow, the session's been almost 2 hours. I didn't even realize that. Didn't even realize that. Thanks, man. Yeah, I really enjoyed this session. It's been good. I mean, we took one trade, and I took one trade in 2 hours. Right? That tells you. That tells you my plan, right? That's my plan every day. I don't take a lot of trades, especially in these conditions. But we still got a winning trade in these conditions, so I'm happy. I am happy. Stay longer. See, now I know your tricks. Now I know your tricks. Wouldn't that be awesome if we just dropped? That'd be cool. Just getting in like within one tick of my stop and then dropping a full TP. That's not gonna happen. Oh. We are so close, so close. Alright, there it is. I'm done. Finally. Finally. I think I got in this trade at 12:30 and just sold at 1:09. That was a long trade, guys. That was a long trade. Alright, but I just added to my profit for the day. Added to my profit for the day. Probably be done. Alright, what's the next trade? If I do another trade, we're going to be here for another hour. Oh, man. Okay. Alright, guys. So let's just go over this trade one last time. And then we'll get out of here. Alright. So, here's what happened. Up here, 4 hour, this big rectangle. Up here, 4 hour, bearish fair value gap. 1 hour, bearish fair value gap, okay? We come up, high, low, higher, high. And then we displace the low with a fair value gap, okay? This is a unicorn model. I think I've traded a unicorn model like every day this week. I think we've taken this kind of trade almost every single day of the week so far. We come up here, we enter into that fair value gap. Okay, I take my entry off that reaction. Get in the shorts. We drop. Took profit at the 1 minute order block. Okay, after we retested that 1 minute order block for like the second time. Down here. Oh man, look at that drop now. This would be very comical if we go hit my full TP. Anyways, took that profit, moved my stop to break even. Then we dropped again where I could have taken full TP here if I wanted to, but I bought in 2 minis, right? So I only had 1 mini left. I wanted to hold it to full TP just to see out my plan, so I didn't take profit. But I did move my stop into profit here at the high. Right? This is comical, guys. I'm telling you, this is what happens. The market knows where your stop is. They watch you. They say, I'm just going to mess with him. He's been in this trade for almost an hour. You know what? I'm going to go barely touch his stop, and I'm going to take out his full TP. Look it. I told you. I told you. Dude, this is funny. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it, guys. I knew it. Oh well. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Literally, I'm just a retail trader. Don't come after me. Don't come after me. That is pretty funny. That's pretty funny. We're about to run through my full TP watch. Oh well. It happens, guys. It happens. I don't really care. I still won the trade, so that's why I'm like, oh well. Oh well. I moved my stop into profit. Cool. Cool. We're good. Easy pickings, exactly. But yeah, guys, so that's why I took that trade, and then I used my Fibonacci. I saw this low that we formed, right? So this was a good first TP level around this area. Good for second TP, full TP is this low at our first standard deviation. We have these equal lows down here. So this is why. I mean, if we look at the 5 minute, guys, I think we're going to keep dumping. We're going to keep dumping. I knew it. Watch, we're going to just take out my TP right now. That is pretty funny. Anyways, yeah, it looks like we're going to keep dropping from here, guys. We're going to keep dropping. But again, we still have this imbalance down here. So we might still take out, this liquidity here, and then we could pump, right? But again, we're still looking bearish. We had two bearish breaker blocks that have accelerated us down. So we still look pretty bearish. So I'd expect I would look for this 5 minute, 15 minute imbalance over here. If we close below, I would expect price to continue trying to take out sell side liquidity, right? Alright, we formed 5 minute order block here. Price drops. If price closes below this 5 minute order block, then you'll look for price to come back up, retest. Right, so this is just how it goes. This is how it goes, guys. Anyways, that's going to be it for me. That was like our longest session in a while. Really enjoyed it. We still caught a winning trade either way. We stuck to our plan. We held for a while. I hope you guys gained some perspective, gained some knowledge. But again, this is our weekend now. This was our Friday. Really, please enjoy yourself this weekend. You know, celebrate Easter, celebrate the holiday. Remember what it's all about. Remember what Easter is truly about, okay? But yeah, try to enjoy yourself. You know, even if you're going to do your studying, you're going to do your learning, remember to take those mental breaks. Spend some time with family. Spend some time with doing your hobbies, right? Clear your mind, and then we'll come back Monday. We'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to take some solid trades, get back in the trading mindset. But you got to learn to take some breaks sometimes and to clear your mind. Clear your mind. Go out in nature. You know, it's super important. I try to do that as much as I can. Right. It helps me ground myself. So that's what I like to do. But again, guys, happy Easter. I'll say it one more time. Remember why we celebrate Easter. And nice, dude. $500 on the XFA. Let's go. Good stuff. All right. Enjoy yourself. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. God bless everybody. Happy Easter. I will see you guys on Monday. All right. All right. Peace.